Let's start with word number one, that is absurd. Absurd is something strange, something weird. So if I say that this conversation is becoming absurd, it means it is weird, it is strange, maybe it's creepy, it's going off topic, something that is not normal, not something that's comfortable for me. So what you said is absurd. That means what you said is weird and I don't understand it. If your idea, your business idea is absurd, it means the investor is telling you, hey, it doesn't make sense. It's unprofitable. Word number two is fetal. Fetal comes from the word fetus. Fetus is the baby in the womb after 8 months of pregnancy, not yet born. So this fetus is the baby in the womb, and anything related to that is fetal. It's the adjective. So we say during the fetal development of the child, they need nutrition and blah blah blah, whatever they need. So that is during the early stages when the child is not yet born. Word number three is FIZZLE. We talk about fizzy drinks. What are fizzy drinks? Coca-Cola, 7-Up, Pepsi, and all these things. When we open their cap and they have those bubbles, they make a little sound, right? That's the hissing sound. The hissing sound, or the fizz that you see, we use the word fizzle as a verb to say the drinks fizzled, the drinks are fizzling, and that just means they're making that sound. Word number four is fixate. So, sometimes in life we fixate on things, and that could be good or bad. Good in a way, when you fixate on something, you focus and concentrate on it, like your dreams and ambitions. So I am fixated in making $1 billion. That is my passion in life. So I am just so focused on it that it's driving me crazy in a good way. It's getting towards a good direction. Or it could be a negative thing. If I am hung up on my ex and I'm thinking about her day and night, then I'm fixating on her, and that is not healthy at all. Word number five is fruitfulness. Fruitful, maybe a lot of you know this, that means something that is very useful, very productive for you. Fruitfulness simply means usefulness. So the fruitfulness of this project will show up or will become obvious or clear when this project starts making money. So the usefulness of this project will be clear when whatever happens. Or I'm going to invest in this company only if there is enough fruitfulness for me in the long term. Usefulness. Word number six is lament. Lament is when you talk about a depressing situation, something where something is really sad or you have to show grief. So when someone dies, you lament their death. It means you show sorrow or grief. You usually do it at a funeral. When some loss of someone happens, or let's say there's someone who's really sick, not really dead, you're still there at the hospital showing sorrow or grief, which means you're lamenting their bad health or showing sorrow or care for them. The next word is lineage. Lineage is your ancestry. I come from a lineage of these kinds of people, or I come from a lineage of barbarians. It simply means your fathers, their fathers, their fathers, grandfathers, and so on. So lineage of someone means their family history, basically. It's very similar to ancestry. The next word is lobbying. It doesn't have to do anything with a lobby for some reason. Lobbying means convincing people or persuading people. Not the common people, but higher ups, people in politics, people in the government. So if I am in a union and I'm trying to convey my message to politicians, really powerful politicians, that, hey, we should do this in this industry, it means I'm trying to convince them. I'm lobbying for what I want, what I need, and I might be bribing them. I might be just trying to promise something in return. What I'm doing is convincing politicians to give me something that I want. So that is called lobbying, when you go to the higher ups or politicians mostly and convince them, persuade them to do something. The next word is run up. So when you run up something, it doesn't really mean you're actually running up the hill or something. It means you're doing something quickly. You're making something quickly. So if you want to run up a dress, you want to run up a food item, or you want to run up a project or an idea, all of that simply means you're making these things very quickly. So the next time you want to make something quickly, you can say, I want to run up this certain thing. Very fancy word to use, not common. This one is not common, but run up, the words are common, and it could be used in these kinds of cases. And I could say actually today, before I say the next word, I ran up this vocabulary list today. I had to make it a little quick, and that's where I can use this word. The next is laughingly. Very simple, very obvious to understand. When you're doing something laughingly, you are laughing while doing that. So let's say I proposed my girlfriend and she laughingly said no. So that's very embarrassing. What happened is she thought I was joking, or maybe she thinks that this is a joke. I'm out of her league, and she says no, laughingly, almost criticizing me and embarrassing me. So that is doing something while laughing. The next one we have, is 11, lavish. Lavish is something that is really fancy, that is really showy. Ostentatious is the same thing like lavish. Very luxurious. That's the direct synonym, I believe. So if you have your lavish lifestyle, it means you probably spend a lot of money on very expensive things and on very expensive vacations and maybe dresses and so on. Your lifestyle is lavish that way. If you have lavish dresses, those dresses are probably really expensive as well. Maybe they're designer clothes. Maybe they have a bunch of jewelry on them, and that makes them lavish or luxurious. The next one is clinch. Okay, I have two words here, clinch and flinch. Very commonly you would hear those words. So let's talk about clinch. Clinch means to settle something, to confirm something. So if you clinch a deal, a business deal, it means you confirmed it, you settled it, the terms are set now. If you clinched an agreement between two or more people, that means you settled that, you confirmed that. So to bring something to confirmation, and that's a verb, you clinch that thing. That means it reaches its final move, final decision. And the next word, as I said, is flinch. Flinch is to make a sudden movement or reaction. You know, when you have those times when you did something embarrassing and you think about it at a future date and you make a nervous movement, you jerk and you feel like, why did I do that? You are embarrassed thinking about a memory. It makes you uncomfortable. Maybe in thinking of a memory or in real life when you're actually doing something very embarrassing and you jerk, you flinch, you move your body in a way that shows that you're uncomfortable. It's a reaction that comes instinctively. You don't want to do it, but your body moves that way. So that is called flinching. So he flinched or she flinched when I mentioned something really awkward to that person. That's how you can use it. The second last word is misperceive. What is perceive? Perceive is to think. Okay, so I perceive or I predict that it's gonna be a slow year or it's gonna be a busy year. That means I think that it is gonna be this way. But what if my thinking was incorrect? Then I can look back and say, I misperceived how this year is gonna go. That means I misjudged. So misperceive means misjudged. We don't really have a word for misjudged. It's always miss something, so misjudged and misperceive. Misperceive, of course, being a fancy choice, might be more not commonly used, might be more useful to you if you are using this for your exams. And the last word is MIA. I hear this also in movies. It's not something I hear in real life, but when you hear MIA in movies, it simply means missing in action. Mr. George has been MIA for the last 15 days. It means he has been missing. He disappeared. Maybe someone kidnapped him. Maybe something happened to him. Or maybe he just didn't want to come outside his home. So he is MIA, missing in action. We don't know what's happening with him, where he is, and that simply is a fancy thing you can use informally. You don't want to use it formally. It's something you can use with friends or when you're talking to friends about other people. And that's it. That's our 15th word. Our vocabulary lesson is done today, and if you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe as always. And I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.